Hello friends, welcome to English Shorthand class. Ready? 1, 2, 3, start. The second challenge is in the use of executive and legislative aggression. Central institutions are increasingly weakening the policy levers of state institutions. Institutions such as the Income Tax Department, the Enforcement Directorate, and the National Investigation Agency are being used to intimidate opponents. Appointments are not untouched either. For instance, the center has been meddling with the appointments of vice chancellors in universities funded and run by state governments. Direct transfers to beneficiaries of welfare schemes by passing states are also contributing to this dynamic. Further, as recent events suggest, the center is increasingly ignoring elected representatives of state governments, holding meetings with state secretaries and district collectors on issues that are primarily under state control. An example was a recent meeting by Minister of Education Ramesh Pokriyan Nishank with state education secretaries on implementation of the new education policy. Such transgressions, often with the help of governors, allow the BJP to actively control administrative decisions, including faculty recruitments, to align with the majoritarian agenda. Governors perform active administrative roles instead of their signatory roles. Importantly, such moves are also meant to ensure national uniformity in educational institutions. One such example is NEET, or the National Eligibility cum Entrance Test in medical education, which subverts the affirmative action policies developed at the regional level in response to local political demands. This is evident in the domain of health as well. Apart from imposing a national lockdown during the first wave of the novel coronavirus pandemic without consulting state governments, the center has now put state governments at a disadvantage in vaccine usage by fixing differential pricing for procuring vaccines for them. This forces state governments to pay more even as they are deprived of their revenue shares. Socio-cultural foundation. The third and crucial challenge lies in the social cultural foundations of federalism. As Partha Chatterjee argues, beside the legal constitutional aspects of federalism, it is diversity in cultural foundation of regions that sustains Indian federalism. Regional identities and cultural traditions have worked against the homogenization agenda of the BJP. However, this diversity is being challenged at present. Markers of regional identities and regional socio-cultural practices are now interpreted as belonging to a pan-Indian Hindu tradition. Tamil, which has stood as a symbol of an anti-Vedic tradition, is now seen as a segment of that Hindu past, with Tamil Muslims and Christians becoming outsiders. Dravidian is attacked as a creation of the British with support from Christian missionaries, ending the term of its anti-caste politics. Tamils therefore need to be mainstreamed by reuniting them with their Hindu past. A similar narrative is being built in other regions. Muslims and Christians become less Malayali, less Bengali, and less Assamese. In Bengal, the BJP tried a strategy of linking Sonar Bangla to a Hindu past. Key variables. This erosion of federal relations is often countered through appeals to restore the constitutional powers of states. However, history tells us that such calls may not amount to much in the absence of regional political assertion. Constitutional powers, including fiscal relations, are inherently biased towards the center. Vesting of all residuary powers with the center and giving overruling powers to the center on matters in the concurrent list are the primary sources of this bias. What is seldom recognized is that the degree of federalism in India has depended largely on two variables: the nature of political coalitions at the center and role of states in such coalitions. The period 1996 to 2014, for example, and the cultural diversity of regions. Hence, what is needed is a federal coalition that looks beyond the legal constitutional aspects of federalism to preserve the idea of a plural India in terms of both culture and politics.